You open a drawer in your kitchen. Inside, there's a can of beans. No visible damage, no smell. You pick it up, check the bottom, and there it is, a date stamped from 3 months ago. Do you throw it away, or do you eat it? Every single year, billions of dollars worth of food gets tossed. Not because it's actually gone bad, but because of a date printed on a label. A number chosen by a manufacturer, a number that most people have never really questioned. Here's the thing though, that date, it probably doesn't mean what you think it does. Today we're going deep on expiry dates, what they actually are, why they exist, and how they quietly drive one of the biggest sources of food waste on the planet. Let's go back to basics. For most of human history, there were no dates on food. People used their senses. Does it smell off? Is the texture wrong? Then you don't eat it. Simple, instinctive, effective. Dates on packaging only became widespread in the 20th century, when food started being mass-produced, shipped across countries, and sold to people who had zero relationship with the person who made it. Manufacturers needed a system, so they built one. Not primarily to protect your health, but to guarantee quality and protect themselves legally. That's where this whole thing starts. And here's where it gets confusing, because expiry date is actually an umbrella term for several very different things. Best before is about quality. It means that after this point, the food might lose some of its peak flavor, texture, or color. It does not mean the food becomes dangerous. A cracker that's slightly stale past its best before date is still a cracker. Use by is the one that actually carries a safety warning. It's used on fresh meat, raw fish, and certain dairy products. Foods where bacterial growth is a real risk if left too long. That one you should pay attention to. And then there's sell by, which is really just a communication between the manufacturer and the store. It's about stock rotation. It was never meant to tell you anything about when to eat something. So when someone says, "This is expired," which date are they even talking about? Here's what most people don't know. In most countries, there are no laws requiring manufacturers to use any specific method to calculate these dates. Companies run their own tests under their own conditions and then pick a date that protects their brand reputation. To avoid complaints, most of them build in a significant buffer. The food often stays perfectly fine well beyond what the label says, especially canned goods, dry goods, and frozen products, which can last years without any real degradation. Your senses evolved to detect spoilage. A rotten smell, a slimy texture, visible mold, these are reliable signals. A printed date, chosen conservatively by a marketing and legal team, is not always more accurate than your own nose. So no, don't ignore dates entirely. For raw meat and fresh seafood, use-by dates genuinely matter. But for most of what fills a pantry, they're a guide, not a countdown to disaster. Next time you're about to throw something out, take a second, smell it, look at it. Think about what type of date is actually on the label. Because the truth is, most of the food we waste isn't spoiled, it's just misunderstood. If this changed how you think about your fridge, share it with someone who clears their pantry on autopilot. And subscribe for more, because the most ordinary things almost always have a more interesting story underneath.